Hi Hakim, sorry you had to wait so long for this, but here we go, let's get going. So, concept 1, C1, just a very simple presentation of shelves across the back wall. By the way, I've more or less ignored your layout because I think you were trying to work with Elfa's off-the-shelf melamine products, which I don't particularly recommend, and they've got zero moisture resistance, they damage easily, they're not that strong. I use a moisture resistant MDF with a white face and a white edge. I buy from this, it's a robotic facility, they do all the cutting and edging automatically, and that Kronospan product is what I generally use. Let's get back to the design. By the way, there isn't a huge cost difference between the crappy Elfa product and this, but we'll get to that. So, very simple presentation, roughly replicating your layout. Not really any need to dwell on that, it's self-explanatory. Let's go to C2. C2, I've used the same metalwork framing, but tried to sort of show a little bit more sort of some spaces like your design had, a bit more asymmetry, and the separate lower section there. Let's carry on to C3. C3, I've put more metalwork in. The last one was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 posts, some verticals. This is 6 verticals. And what that has allowed me to do is to put some more sort of asymmetry in. And you can see, to get the offset in that lower section, that is a completely separate section. Although I can see now that actually those 3 members there could continue through. That might be worth looking at, because it would reduce your costs slightly. So I've costed this one. The others would be marginally cheaper, and just so in case you don't notice it on the drawings, these are 250 millimeters deep, but you can have any shelf depth you want. The cutting plan that I've put together for C3, let's have a look. Yeah, there's a little bit of waste there, so you could have some of those thicker shelves, but if you have the shelves, if they were all 350 deep, you would find that you would be using a second sheet, so your costs would go up by at least £100. Okay, so is that your, yeah, there's your your parts list. So that's the parts only cost. If you want me to install, it's parts plus 40%. I'm not going to charge you anything for design because it's pretty simple. So those are the 2 costs to look at if you want me to install. I've also shown a board delivery cost there of £65. If I install, you won't have that cost, so you're going to be losing almost £100 from there, so it's going to be closer to sort of 820, something like that, if I install. That is the cost, 700 and something if you install. Right, okay, I'm going to send you all this information. I am placing a parts order on Friday. I can give this another little bit of design effort on Friday, but if you can organise your feedback for then, and be prepared to be decisive Friday and perhaps the weekend, then we could be looking to install mid to end of January. If we miss this import cycle, it'll be mid to end of February. Okay, I hope that's useful. Excuse me for yawning, I always do it every single video. Speak soon.